Okay, we'll start up the meeting. Welcome to the workshop. Have a short agenda tonight. Hopefully we'll mow through it. A couple new things, one left over from last meeting. First one was old business, was the authorized salary increases. We didn't have the exact numbers on that, so we tabled it last week, and this week we have all those numbers from our minus Jeff, so
Jeff's not getting
an increase. So he's getting a decrease. So yeah, there's no increase. So I'll make a motion to accept to authorize the salary increases for the fiscal year 17-18.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, I don't know if we can mull through this or where we're going to end with this one, but it's a standard resolution for retirees, workday resolution for retired employees, or
retirement for employees.
yes, yeah. I guess it's a sender sheet. You did have some questions though, so I don't know. Do you want to clarify with?
I can do it afterwards. This
Okay.
one, based upon the statement for this particular resolution, I'm good with it.
Okay, good. So, make a motion to, pass the resolution, is there a number on this, or?
No.
Pass the resolution of the standard workday resolution for employees, RS 2418, as listed.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I think the motion is that, the motion is for Jeff, I guess, to sign it. The signature of the clerk up here.
Okay. So it says, once the motion, the resolution is passed, must be kept on file. So the resolution was passed, so I guess authorize Jeff to sign. Is that right? Or?
Well, you need the date for the original resolution.
They would be today, and then I guess.
No, the original resolution. That I've compared the foregoing with the original resolution passed by such board at a legally convened meeting held on the day of the. It implies that this resolution replaces a previous resolution, and I believe what they're looking for is the date of the previous resolution. That's how I interpret it.
Right.
Yes.
I'll compare the foregoing with the original resolution passed by such board at a legally convened meeting. So we may need a resolution to cover this.
Well, we need the original resolution.
So I'm gonna table it until we.
Well, can we authorize the clerk to sign this?
To fill it in.
What's that?
To fill it in.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to have our clerk, to authorize our clerk to sign this document after reading and confirming the information needed.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for getting through that. Some of these things come up, this just came to us today, so have to bear with us sometimes. It's as new to us as it is to you. Next is consider planning board recommendations for a parking waiver for 3 spots on 21 Main. This is Recon Argentina. It's from the planning board. I will read I'll read the letter from the chair, Matt Francisco. Please find the attached planning board resolution dated May 25th, 2017, which was filed with the village clerk on June 6th. The planning board approval. The planning board approval granted conditional site plan approval to the applicant Hector Antonio on Recon Argentino for the property located at 21 Main Street, identified as section 48.12, lot 1, blah, blah, blah. The applicants are proposing to change, expand an existing cafe restaurant use by eliminating existing apartment unit. The existing footprint of the building will remain the same. The modification requires 4 parking spaces as per the village's off-street parking requirements set forth in section 134-18.E, section 1, I guess, or 1 of the village code. That is 1 off-street parking space for every 3 seats. The applicants are not providing any off-street parking spaces and therefore seeks a waiver for 3 off-street parking spaces as per section 134-18.E7. Since 1 off-street parking space has historically been carried over for properties along Main Street. One of the planning board's conditions of approval requires the applicant to obtain the necessary parking waivers from the village board. The applicant requests that the village board grant a parking waiver as stipulated in the village code to meet the planning board's condition of approval. In general, the planning board feels the waiver provisions set forth section 134-18E7 are intended for the proposed commercial use, especially here since the modification essentially will eliminate 2 vehicles parked long-term on the street because of removal of existing apartment. Thus, the elimination of the long-term residential parking associated with apartment actually decreases the building's off-street parking requirement. Finally, many of these vehicles will be visiting the village's other establishments along Main Street and will therefore not compound any parking issues in the village. Based upon the above, the planning board recommends a waiver of 3 off-street parking spaces. I'd like to make a motion to approve of the 3-spot parking waiver as recommended by the planning board.
Second.
Further discussion or any discussion?
Did they not originally have some parking waivers when they originally opened? Because they've
No.
had seats in there for ages.
No, the answer is no. They did not have any parking waivers originally.
Were they notified that there's a fee attached with these waivers?
I'm sorry?
Were they notified that there's a fee attached to these waivers?
Yes. Yes.
So, fine.
I'm sorry, there's a resolution associated with that.
It's the planning board's resolution.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a site approval, sorry. Thank you.
And, see if we make that,
That's also done by them, right?
yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next is the discussion on building department's fee schedule. This morning, Jeff Vidakovich and myself met with Greg Warner and Linda Valentino, or Valentine, is it?
Valentino.
Is it Valentino?
It is.
Valentino. We discussed, we went over a number of things and trying to make the transition to the town as seamless as possible. It was a really great meeting, and one of the topics that did come up was whose fee schedule to use. For the meantime, and during the beginning of this, the transition, we'll be using the village's fee schedule. What we have in the packet today is the village's fee schedule, and we also have the Phillipstown fee schedule. So I asked them to give both of these. We can take a look at them over the week, and if you can, there's some compare apples to apples here. There are some differences in the costs and the way they come up with their fees. For new construction, it's $10 per thousand, and plus a CO. Ours is based on square footage. So I believe some of theirs actually bring in more money, or there's more of a charge to the applicant. So, but I don't think it's much of a difference. But if you can take a look at these, we'll make sure make sure that these are complete. What ours are, because some of the stuff like HDRB, obviously Phillipstown doesn't have. So it's basically take a look at these. If you have questions, try to get them back soon. And if you have any questions, ask Jeff, or we can also ask Greg to see what the differences are.
Okay.
So just for the record, for anyone listening, the way that the department's going to work, all initial applications will be coming to the village. And from there, we're gonna try to sort out, Jeff is gonna be looking over the applications to make sure that they're complete before they're sent up to the town. That way it'll save some time. If they're not complete and we send it up there, then Greg's gonna see that they're not complete and send it back here, and it'll be a back and forth, so we don't want that happening. Also, we're going to, Jeff's been incredible. He worked with our building inspector for a number of months, and really pretty much has it down. So referrals might be, if they're simple referrals, ones that, they're obvious, if it's work on Main Street or in a historic district, he can refer that to the board, and we're gonna work out something with Greg on that, and if we can, we have to run this also by legal and make sure that's cool. But we'd like to have Jeff do simple referrals instead of, if it's like a window on Main Street or a sign on Main Street, and we know that has to go to the Historic District Review, then Jeff can just send it to them. And then once that's complete, then we'd send it for Greg. Greg would give the final inspection on it, and it will stop it. It'll eliminate another step and more time for the applicant. So we'll see how that works. We're trying to, there's going to be some bumps in this, but I think it's going to work out really well. So thank you once again to the Phillipstown Board for making this happen. I think it's going to be good. Next we have the approval of bills.
I make a motion to approve batch 4105 for the amount of $45,550.08.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Let's see. This goes here, I think. Pages mixed up. Okay, last approval of minutes. Is this the,
May
where's the
16th.
first one? I don't even see it in here. I have
Here.
the 25th. I don't have mine in my packet, sorry.
This is May 16th.
Okay. The first is, Village Board meeting, May 16th, 17. Have a motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And the second is May 23rd, a workshop meeting, Village Board workshop meeting. Have a motion to accept?
So moved.
I'll second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I think that's it. Anything else from the,
I have one thing. This time last year, we sort of half convinced Mary that she needed to have the office closed a half a day each week so she could actually work and get some work done. So we had set hours that she would close the office from 12:30 to 4:30 on Mondays, and she would stay and work and then would not answer phones or would not take care of customers. So we put those signs on the windows, not that it ever happened, because Mary couldn't close the doors to people. I discussed this with Jeff today, and Jeff has asked if we change it so that the office will be open all day Monday through Thursday, and on Fridays open from 8:30 to 12:30, and then at 12:30 on Friday he will close the office, have his lunch, and then finish up his work without answering phones. So he wanted to know if that was okay with us. I told him I would bring it up tonight. So I have no problem with
any thoughts on?
Sounds like,
I have no problem with that.
it.
sounds like a good thing.
Okay, so we'll post new signs.
Okay. Anything else? Just one, there's, the phone's been ringing a lot about the 4th of July celebration. 4th of July celebration will be held on the 4th of July. The fireworks are a done deal, thanks to the Groombridge Games, once again sponsoring that, so there are fireworks. Unfortunately, we had a little stumbling with the Independence Day Committee, and found out today that there's actually maybe one or two people left. The chair, Bruce Campbell, and as far as we know, that may be the only other members from last year that haven't dropped off. So we'll be working with Bruce and getting things together. We did talk to the both the American Legions and the VFW, and both were not interested in the parade. This year we will not be having a parade, so people can crucify me. But last year it was hard to organize. We don't have people organized. It's an extra cost. It's during a hot day. So that's one of the reasons the vets weren't interested. And also, it just by the end of the parade, which is a short route, it got incredibly sloppy. That was my view of it, as the dogs started marching into us and bikes were going through us also. So it's hard to organize, and we really are a lack of volunteers, especially this year. So we're behind on that, and we won't be having the parade. So we will be having and starting the celebration down at the dock. And we will have the bike decorating contest. Will still be there. We'll still be giving out prizes for the kids on the bikes. And the bands will be in place, so the bands will be on as usual. We have one more band slot to fill, but that's on schedule. So there are a number of things we have to do. Bruce says most of the other stuff is status quo as far as porta-johns and people and vendors, local vendors that we have, like I think it's the Lions Club and Haldane Foundation, or Haldane Athletics, I believe, and I'm not sure if they've responded to Bruce. I know he's contacted them. So everything is pretty much on. We have some logistical things to get together, but the big thing is there won't be a parade. Fireworks are on, music's on, celebration's on. 4 o'clock. It'll be starting down at the riverfront. So that's the big news, I guess, today. Anything else? Anything from our wonderful audience? Up to, gonna start having it in one of our homes or whatever.
We only
Have a
had two
fire.
at our meeting last week too, so.
What's that?
We only had 2 people in the audience from our meeting last week.
Yeah.
And that was our monthly meeting.
We should just throw something hot on every week just so people come and take it home.
Give refreshments, give food, they'll come.
Maybe. If there's nothing else, nothing from our audience or press, take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Check.